Welcome back to Houston Life. She's a local mom, cookbook author, and friend of Houston Life, and she's always coming up with recipes to save you time in the kitchen, and that's why she wants you to not fear the fish, Catherine.
No, don't fear the fish. Well, let's welcome Marcia Smart, culinary instructor of Smart in the Kitchen School, who is here with the secrets for cooking fish at home. And we know this can be like a little bit intimidating for people, but you say there's nothing to worry about.
So I definitely think fish is one of those things that people are afraid of. Like, it's going to make their whole house smell like fishy, it's complicated, and it really is simple if you follow a couple easy rules.
It can smell a little bit fishy. I mean, is there a way to avoid that, or is a fish smell an indication that maybe it's not as fresh? Because certain types of fish are smellier than others.
Well,
right?
Fish shouldn't smell fishy. It should smell like the lake or the river where it came from, or the ocean. And one of the best tips I give is to cook at high heat in the oven, and then it just cooks quickly, and it's less likely to like permeate your whole house.
Yeah, and that's one of the benefits of fish too, because a lot of other proteins take a long time to cook. So if you're looking for a quick weeknight meal, fish is a good go-to.
Yes, it's very fast.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning, the grocery store, the local market. How are we shopping for and picking out the fish?
Okay, what I tell people is to like use your eyes to have a conversation. Go talk to the person that works at the fish market or the fish counter and say, what's fresh? What do you recommend? And then look at what they recommend and decide if that's what you want. Don't go with like a firm shopping list. Like, I have to have halibut because the recipe says to use halibut. You can substitute any flaky fish that looks good.
And there are a lot of easy substitutions, like you're saying.
Yes.
So you can just substitute halibut for
anything. Almost any fish in a recipe is interchangeable. Haddock, cod, salmon, like just see what looks good and try something new. See if you love it.
I didn't realize that's a good pro tip right there. Okay, let's talk about temperature, Marcia, because this is a critical point. You want to make sure your fish is cooked, but sometimes when fish is overcooked, the texture really gets messed up. It can be chewy or rubbery.
Yes, it gets dry. The biggest tip I can give is to use an instant read meat thermometer. It should be 145 when it's ready. Pull it out when it's ready. Take it off the stove, out of the oven, and it won't be overcooked.
It always cooks a little bit longer, right, after it's pulled out?
Yes, so 143 would be fine too.
Okay, good to know.
143. Okay. Very specific. All right, what are we cooking up today, Marcia?
So these are just some easy sides that you can have with your fish. This is a medium grain sushi rice, but we're going to season it a little bit just to give it a little extra punch. Nice. So this is what would happen if you put rice in like a sushi roll. We're going to add a little bit of kosher salt, it's a tablespoon, and sugar to unseasoned rice vinegar.
Okay.
And then I usually just warm this on the stove or in the microwave a little bit.
Will it dissolve it then?
Yes, to dissolve. Then just pour that on. And if you will, Catherine, if you just want to...
Here, I'll hold and you stir. We'll do teamwork.
Just stir it up. You can just kind of fold it in there.
Fold in the rice.
It's going to make it so flavorful and delicious.
And there's
very
nothing quite like that sticky rice texture with the vinegar. So I love that pairing.
Did you make this rice in a rice cooker? Because the consistency for sushi rice is a little bit different, right?
I used a rice cooker. You can cook it on the stove. You can cook it in an Instant Pot. I know a lot of people are using that to cook rice. But I love an old school rice cooker. I use it all the time.
There's just one button on it, so
you
can't mess up on a rice cooker.
Turn it on.
Yes. And what do we have to go with it?
So this is a very simple cucumber salad, and it's just sliced Persian cucumbers, and we're going to add some seasoning to it. Okay. Just a little bit of rice vinegar.
I got to stock up on my rice vinegar
at
home.
And unseasoned rice vinegar. Seasoned rice vinegar has sugar or other flavorings in it.
And we're adding the sugar here.
Yes.
Built in.
That way we're in control of the sugar. And the sugar in this recipe is optional. That was extra virgin olive oil. You can also add avocado oil if you want. A little bit of salt and a little bit of sugar. And then if you guys just want to mix this up, I'm adding some red onion to this too. You could also add some like black sesame seeds for color. And it's one of those salads that just gets better as it sits because the cucumber like absorbs all those flavors.
It's like a pickle.
Yes,
in a way.
It's like a quick pickle.
It's a quick pickle. I like that. And I love the color from the onions.
They're beautiful. Thinly sliced onions you have there too.
And you could leave those out if you don't want the onions.
All right, and our finished product is so beautiful up here, Marcia. There's that cucumber salad and then that beautiful rice, so you can serve those as sides. And let's sit tight because we're going to take a quick commercial break. More after the break with Marcia Smart. You're going to show us how to make a ginger and scallion braised cod.
Yes.
Is that
fish
right?
of choice.
Yes, it takes about 5 minutes. It's so easy.
Fantastic.
Perfect.
Nice and easy. Houston Life will be right back.
Welcome back to Houston Life, where we've been having lunch during the commercial break.
Been helping
we
ourselves
are
here.
back with Marcia Smart, and I got to tell you, it's a home run. The rice, I could eat this whole dish. The cucumber salad, it's great. So the fun continues. This is a ginger and scallion braised cod. You're going to show us how to make. And again, don't fear the fish. This is something that we can make in what, 5 minutes? You say?
Like
5 minutes.
5 to 6 minutes. The thing that's going to take the longest is grating your ginger, but it is so fast.
Okay.
And you've done that for us already. It looks
Yes,
so
I
we're good
mean
to go.
that's the magic of TV.
Yes.
Okay, so all you have to do is do a little bit of salt and pepper on top of these. I'm giving you your job.
All right, I'll do some
And
salt.
then variations on a theme: some unseasoned rice vinegar, soy sauce, and grated ginger.
So same kind of flavors
Same
as
flavors.
our side dishes. Then, Derek, do you want to do pepper?
Oh, sure. Why not?
So
Top it here.
if you are feeding someone that can't have soy, you could always use coconut aminos, which have a similar flavor profile. And then these are just like a poaching liquid or a steaming liquid. I added the rice vinegar, the soy sauce, and the ginger.
Oh, a
I'm gonna-
steaming liquid. So like when you put the lid on, essentially,
Yes.
the top of the
It
fish as well.
absorbs it then.
And these are so aromatic and flavorful. The fish just kind of soaks in all of these flavors.
If someone's using, sorry, Catherine, to jump in.
go ahead.
You go. No, you go. No, you go.
You're talking about cod and fish substitutions. So
Yes.
you're using cod here, but you could use
You
really
could use
anything else.
any whitefish. So halibut would be delicious. Cobia, if you guys haven't had that, is a delicious whitefish. You could do haddock. And I think this would also be delicious with salmon.
Right. Nice to know we can change it out. Like you're saying, go to the
Yes.
farmer's market, go to the market and just get what you need and what's available and fresh.
Totally. I think the key with making fish at home is really learning to shop smart. Like look at what's available and decide what looks the freshest, what looks the best.
A lot of people, if they're cooking for one at home, they may buy their fish frozen because you could get those, airtight
individually
packs.
wrapped.
And that's okay too, right? You
Yes.
just would thaw them.
Yes. Okay. So I love having those in my freezer. I usually have packets from either a company called Fish Fix, which is a delivery company.
I know Fish Fix.
Yes,
Yeah, they're great.
and they are local to Texas. I love them. Or like individual frozen packs of cod that you can find. And I just move them to the refrigerator the night before, which is a nice, gentle thawing, and they're ready to go. But don't be afraid of frozen fish. It is like such a wonderful convenience thing to have on hand, and it's flash frozen, so it's like really just as fresh as fresh fish that you
Frozen
buy.
fish is not a bad thing. Okay,
It's not
so
a bad
see
thing.
that fish is cooking right along.
Yes. So I'm just adding some green onions, otherwise known as scallions, on top for some color and some flavor. I'm adding some black sesame seeds.
It makes it look so fancy having the black
Yes,
sesame
and like
seeds on there. So
that's
pretty
it.
too.
So what I would do at home is just put the lid on. It will steam for about 5 minutes. Have an instant read meat thermometer. It will go to 145, and then this is what you're finished with. Your
This is
delicious fish.
Finished product. So
Yes.
you have a little bit of the rice, that cucumber salad, and then the fish here. And because, again, this is
Nice.
television and these things, take a minute. At home, your fish is going to be fresh,
Yes.
hot off the presses.
Yes. Fish cooks quickly, which makes it such a great weeknight meal. It is usually done in anywhere from 6 minutes to 15 minutes. Like, I think the biggest mistake people make is they overcook their fish at home. So other than that, it's so simple. And all of these add so much flavor.
Yeah, they're aromatics. You can really smell it here in the studio. Do you have any tips for cooking fish in the oven?
Yes, I love cooking fish in the oven because you cook it at high heat and it happens really fast. So 400 degrees, 425 on a sheet pan. Just put parchment paper on your sheet pan, and you can do like a whole side of wild salmon, or you could do mahi fillets with some blackening seasoning for tacos or whatever. But it really is high heat, quick, amount of time, and it's done.
And Marcia, I feel like we should point out too, fish is such a great protein source because it's typically lower in calories. You have the omega-3 fatty acids, and if you're looking for a protein source,
yes,
it's better for your health.
Totally. The American Heart Association recommends eating fish twice a week. So get your omega-3s in. It's a great low-fat source of protein and so good for you.
It's good stuff. And Dinner is Done is Marcia Smart's book. Marcia, our viewers know I'm such a fan of yours. This is such an inspirational book. It just makes me feel fancy when I'm in the kitchen and I don't know what to do. I'm like, Brandon, could you make this? How about page 17? It's even great for nighttime, bedtime reading, if you want to just have dreams of beautiful
midnight snacks.
There's a whole fish chapter. You can do what my husband does and take sticky notes and just, mark the things you want to have for dinner.
Or just flip it open and play, recipe roulette.
Yes.
And just see what comes up.
Well, and so Brandon has been a fan of yours for years. And a few weeks ago, we were sitting in a little cafe in New York City. And suddenly, Brandon's like, there's Marcia Smart. What? And Marcia, you and your husband, we had been dining at the same restaurant.
Yes,
this was such a fun surprise.
And
it turns out, small world that it is, we had tickets to the same Broadway show, and Juliet. We highly recommend it. And I got to meet two of your lovely children.
It was so fun. They loved meeting both of you and thought you were just the sweetest. But that was such a fun, small world surprise.
You'll obviously have excellent taste using the same shows and same restaurant in New York.
I know. Can you believe that?
I know. It is a small world. Well, Marcia Smart, the book is Dinner is Done, and we always love your tips and ideas. I'm still practicing the knife skills you taught me weeks ago.
Love it. Love it.
Finally remove the Band-Aid from the cut on my finger. So Marcia has shared the complete recipe. That's a true story. If you would like to see the recipe or to connect with Marcia, you can visit our website, HoustonLife.tv.
Thank you.